Hello, welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James, and this week, everything's working, and I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
My hips hurt, which is a phrase that in my life I thought I would never ever say.
Too much walking.
Fine. Legs fine. Hips sore. And
Yeah, right.
That was from sitting down, not from walking. So
Sat down too much at PAX.
Apparently so.
Well, we're going to talk more about all things PAX and I guess the damage it did to hips and livers and all sorts of things shortly, because I guess as we record this, we're one day removed from the end of PAX Australia 2023, and it's, well, sorry, as of when we record it, it's been a good time. Matto, we'll kind of dive into some games and stuff we played first, and then we'll kind of wax about PAX more generally, I suppose. You've already done the Player 2 Pixel cast and had an opportunity to talk about some games, but I guess what were some of the highlights from the show floor this year?
Well, for my games, I didn't play a lot because there were people there, which is not a bad thing for indie games, it's good for indie developers because I say probably before pre-COVID, you could always just walk in, play an indie game because they didn't have much else to do because everyone's playing, at Xbox, PlayStation, those ones that weren't there.
The ones that, didn't
show. That's good. So my favorite game of PAX was, I don't know the full name of it because all it's stuck in my head is God of Wombat.
Oh, Primordial's Legends Hollow Hero.
That's
Primordial's Legends being kind of the core franchise, I guess, and Hollow Hero, this specific game. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
I wanted to come out. Me want to buy now, or whenever it comes out.
Early 2025, we were told by Tyson.
Oh,
so
by Tyson.
It's going to be a little while.
I will be waiting when that release date comes.
It is going to be so good. Yeah, for me, that was absolutely my favorite game on the show floor.
And I'm probably the only one that chose arena mode. Everyone else.
Yeah. But that's because you did that because Tyson said so, right?
He says, like, oh, we had arena mode and no one's used it. I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going arena mode. Just cause.
And what I didn't realize that there was a timer actually there for for those of us that were kind of playing the core game. There was a timer there, and I jumped off just to share the load. And you pointed out, what, I have like 3 or 4 minutes out of a 15-minute demo left. I should have cashed in. I had time. But to hell with being nice to people.
Like you said, the timer comes up with 5 minutes remaining, but it's in the right-hand corner, a space where nobody looks, unless
there's a timer on a demo.
Unless there's a timer there, but other than that, no one looks in that corner.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't blame you. You almost had the correct timing of 15 minutes and out. You're 4 minutes off.
Yeah, and look, I didn't finish the demo. I just wanted to share the love around for people and chat to Tyson some more because he's a legend. And they've been working on that game. That game's been showing up at PAX since 2017, I think it is. So
I reckon I played that in 2018,
and it was very, very different.
Very different. It's come a long way since then. Yeah. Definitely come a long way since then.
And actually, I guess a little bit of trivia for people if you're listening to the show now, and you saw the game but didn't know much more than that. Do you remember a demo? There was like a Superman game demo that kind of got popular on the internet for a little while. It was made in that Matrix demo that came out to show off the Unreal. It was made in that. Tyson made that.
Oh really?
Yeah. And it exploded, and then there was a whole bunch of controversy because someone stole the idea and then started selling it on Steam. Right, but stole it right down to the point where Tyson's little thank you introduction with his name on it was still in the demo, and it was a whole ordeal. People should go check out Dev Diary where we talk about it actually in a lot of detail from, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago at this point. But pretty cool, pretty crazy sort of story actually. But also a cool thing that he made. So
it is very, very cool.
Now I see you waving a football around. So you're going to talk about a game that you and I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yes, the game.
Talk about Footy Bash.
Footy Bash, it is just your standard arcade, sporty, beat the crap out of the other opponents type of game. Couch co-op at the best, where you can do two things: punch the person on the screen and also punch the person in real life if you really are that angry with them.
Oh yeah, you can take it out of them.
That's if you want to. But me and Paul played. There was prizes on the line when we played. There was, and we won.
You both got those little footies that you're waving around.
I got a pair of socks, and Paul got a t-shirt which says extra large, which is an absolute lie. That t-shirt is about 7XL.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Just looked at it was huge.
That'll
It
be
was
a
massive.
that could be a good 90 for someone if that's what they need. Like it's that big, it's
Or,
huge.
or
Or
a
a moo.
dress. Or a mover, yes. Just grow into it
So,
over time. It was huge.
yeah, it was pretty
But
fun.
yes, we a little stress footy balls because you're going to need it if you lose. But unlike me and Paul, we were winners.
We weren't scored against. I think we won like 19
Yeah,
zip in what was it, like a
we had
5-minute game, maybe? Not even that.
yeah, something like that. There weren't big quarters. They called them
2-minute quarters, maybe.
Quarters, which is
It was
funny
two
because
halves.
it was only 2 quarters. It was 2 quarters, which is even funnier. It's just looked at it, went, oh, quarter time. Quiz like, oh, there's one more half. I thought I didn't really think about it at the time. I thought, but it says quarter. But who knows? Maybe there are quarters.
The game is already better than AFL 23. Let's not lose sight of that.
Yes, I don't think that's hard to do.
For anyone, I guess, who's not sure about it, maybe didn't go to PAX on the weekend, it's basically, I don't know, like NBA Jam inspired in a lot of ways, but then there's the ability to punch people and blood spills out everywhere. And
yes, old NHL games. That's how I look at it. NHL 95.
Yeah, okay, that's sort of era.
We just go around and
don't really
punch
recall.
people.
I'm all for that.
Just,
without any consequence. Like zero consequence.
Zero consequence, no reports whatsoever. Carry on. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
well, we didn't know it was there until someone, was it Buddy Watson, pointed it out.
Buddy and Drew pointed it out to me as I was heading off to an interview over the weekend, and so it's pretty cool.
Funny enough, when they were talking to us, they were saying, "Oh, we're going to have a competition at 3." They did. I walked past it, and there was people lining up, getting ready. They were signing people up. What's your team's name and all this? I thought,
oh, damn it, we should have gotten back there.
Should have gone. We should have but still, I thought, oh, they actually are doing it. I thought that's really, really cool.
Because they worked out the idea basically while we were playing a game, actually, that they were going to do like $100 giveaway or something. So
yeah, something like that. But
good luck to her. Congratulations to whichever team won it. And then proceeded to start punching the other teammate because they didn't want to split the $100. They wanted it each.
That would have been
fight to the death.
And then another game I played was Gate Bum.
Which one was that?
Gate Bum.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
It's I think it's sort of more like a ollie type game. It's a 2D gate games. Just get to the end sort of thing. Dodge the obstacles, do some sick tricks, get a high score, and you win. You win if you get to the end. But it was good. I didn't get a card because they didn't have any, so I don't know where it's going to come out. But Skate Bum is the game. If you like those fun, relaxing skateboard games, that's not Tony Hawk. Skate Bum is the game for you.
I've just gone. I've gone blank on the game. Maybe you saw it or played it or whatever. I've realised the business card's sitting in my car at the moment. It was like Snake, where you can actually play as a snake as well.
Yeah. It's you just go around and eat stuff. I don't know what it's called. I saw it too.
It was really, really cool. I was a little bit let down in the sense that you could play it on iPads and those things. Okay, cool. No worries. There's a mobile version. That's what I played it on because there was an awkward moment. They were gonna throw me the controller, and some little kids walked up, and we all looked at each other and thought, little kids should probably do it. But so I went and played on the iPad, but thoroughly enjoyed what I was seeing people play with the controller, and thought this is gonna be awesome to play it on console or PC. It's only coming to mobile.
It's just a 3D Snake. That's how I look at it.
Pretty much.
The Nokia. Oh, I can get around that. Kids are on their phones these days anyway, so why bother? They'll be addicted to Snake like we were back in the day, but our Snake was a lot cooler.
I've got to see if I can find what the game was, but I'll work that out in the meantime, I guess. Where can I find Expo Hall? Jeez, they don't do it very well. The PAX website, but anyway, I'll scroll through and work it out while we're chatting. What else did you see that you liked?
I think the last one I looked at, I didn't get to play it because there was always a crowd around, which was okay, and that was Bears in Space.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Very cool. It's a shame I didn't get to play it, but there was always people around. I thought, screw it. They gave me gummy bears, which was great, but I had to take the card as well. I didn't care. I was like, cool, I'll take it. I want to play it when it comes out. Just pretty much, what would you call it? A first-person shooter. I just looked at it and gone, I'm sold. If I'm a bear, I'm in. I'm in space, I'm in. I don't care what else there is. And if you have your own mascot at an expo, I'm also in as Bears in Space. did.
Very cool mascot. In fact, one of the things about that is like I got to do a dev diary with one of the developers from the game, and like whilst we were doing the interview, the wonderful Mads from Play on PR, who was sitting there kind of, I guess, doing a job and supervising a little bit, got a message to have it confirmed that they were trying to get it through and it was getting stuck in customs, and it came through Friday morning, and they whisked it straight over to the show floor and got their QA guy inside and put him to work. So good on the team for making it all work out. Very last minute, but it worked out. It worked a treat, and good costume. Good game. Really enjoyed the game.
And then sort of the rest I sort of didn't really get around to because I think a lot of them were, like you said, iPad-based games or click and point or that interactive type game. And I wasn't really into that type of thing. I just wanted to shoot or punch people in the face. And I did that.
That's fair.
I think Footy Bash just peaked, and I think I just had to stop at that. I don't think you're going to get any more. I played one more. I think it was a New Zealand one. It was just a Dark Souls type game. Can't remember.
Oh yeah, there was that Dark Souls game from the Yukio section, the See What I Made, the European, the Southeast Asian teams. There's some stuff around that there, which was really cool.
Yeah, and it's a shame I didn't get around to the New Zealand developers because it was packed again, but it's good to see that some New Zealand developers making some good games like Dredge.
Oh, I mean, so good to see Dredge there, and lots of really cool games actually in that New Zealand exhibit. It's really kind of cool that all these games from kind of other regions of the world were coming down for the show. It was really, really sweet. So, were there any other games that really took your fancy? Did you go play Mario? Did you go do anything?
No, I wasn't lining up for a Mario game. When's it coming out? Soon?
Less than 2 weeks from now.
Less than 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure I can wait 2 weeks instead of standing in line for 3 hours. I mean, I just don't. Some people can. They can do it. Great. You want to stand in line for 3 hours and play 15 minutes of gameplay, be my guest. But to be honest, I'm more than happy to be patient and just wait for the game to come out. Or unless they just delay it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I never played anyway, so suck eggs.
Any other games for you in particular?
No, not really.
Jeez, I'm hoping I'm not getting PAX box.
Oh no.
It's already thrown a curveball at me this weekend with the panel, but anyway.
I don't think you're the only one. I think there's a few other panels that got cancelled because of.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I think there was one panel. It was like a 10-year anniversary one that got cancelled because 2 of the 3 panelists got sick.
Yeah, right. Okay, I didn't realize that.
You're not the only one.
Well, mine thankfully wasn't cancelled, but I guess more on that shortly. So for me, I guess on top of some of the things that you've mentioned there, I went and had a crack at Go-Go Town, which is the new game from Prideful Sloth. It's kind of the little town builder one. Really, really cool. There's been lots of opportunities for people to play it on Steam Next Fest over the course of the last couple of years. They're an amazing Queensland team. They do some good stuff. But I guess like on that AAA side, because I mean there wasn't a lot on the AAA side there. Tekken was holed away in the far back corner that most people didn't realise.
Well.
Street Fighter. Oh, okay.
I don't know where it was.
Ubisoft had set up Assassin's Creed Mirage and a whole bunch of little nooks and crannies all around the place, but of course that's just recently come out. But one upcoming game that I guess, as far as the AAAs are concerned, almost the furthest game outside of Tekken, Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown was there. Got to go try that out. It was being hosted by Nintendo, and have a crack at that, and it's shaping up really, really well. I was a little bit dubious after that first trailer, the style of the game. I don't mean the visual style, but like the personality it was trying to evoke with a pretty like rap heavy trailer and all those. Like it just didn't. I was like, oh, this is not a vibe that I'm jiving with. But turns out, game's pretty sweet. Really enjoyed playing it, and keen to see more of it ahead of its launch, January sometime, early Feb. I don't know. I think it's out in that same sort of window as Tekken anyway. So that was a really cool AAA game there, or like a game from a AAA developer anyway. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, look, there was some amazing indies, but being able to kind of land on one is pretty hard, especially considering we've already got Hollow Hero there as the clear standout as far as I'm concerned. Lots of really cool games, and I encourage lots of people to go check out all the stuff that Renee has done for Player 2 on the YouTube channel. It's also on Instagram and it's on TikTok as well. There was previews of dozens of different games that were there. And I believe she's now adding some stuff post-PAX that she'll be doing too. So she's an absolute machine. You were on the Pixel Cast there to get to talk about some of the games that were being played, and of course others as well. That'll go up before the end of the week too. So there's lots of cool stuff for people.
I was only there just to keep my streak going because
You had to, right?
me and Matt are the only two people still left from our big Pixel Cast from 2019 where we had 10 people.
Yeah, right.
Me
Did
and
I do
Matt
it
are
last
the only
year?
two- No,
Oh,
you did not. Because you had an interview or something. So me, Matt, and Sean were the only remaining ones.
and
then
now Sean
was
couldn't make it this year.
Sean couldn't make it this year, so it's only me and Matt. So at the end of the day, Matt's going to be the last one standing.
Well, I think if there's one that's more likely to fall out, I've got to guess. It's probably
This guy.
probably you, as the other bloke is the one that owns player too. So anyway, any other highlights from kind of PAX more broadly, beyond just the games that were there?
My highlight was I decided to go buy a wired controller because I'm sick of finding controllers and wires together for my PC, for
Yep.
Xbox and PlayStation. So I thought, screw it, I'll go buy one. Went and got one, took it to the counter. This was Sunday as well, I should point out. And they said, oh, it's 2 for 1. I thought, sweet.
Oh,
So
yeah, why not, right?
So I got 2 controllers for $30. So I was happy.
That's not bad. You
can't-
can't complain
Not
about
bad.
that.
I can't complain. So if one breaks, it's only $15. I'm not going to complain saying, oh, hey, I paid $100 for this controller. It's rubbish. It's $15. I'll say, oh, well.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing.
I was over the moon with that.
Did you go check out any panels at all?
I did. I was meant to go see some panels on Friday. Unfortunately, I was waiting for burgers and beer. So
Oh yeah, true.
I missed all those panels.
We did
which
have
is
a
okay.
long
I don't
lunch in
really
the end.
care. It was a long lunch. Long lunch, long wait. Take your pick. But I just saw the reminders coming up. I thought, oh well. I wasn't too devastated that I missed it. It was like, I didn't get there. It's okay. So Saturday came around. There was no beers, no burgers that day. So I had plenty of time. And the first panel I saw was a guide to collaboration. So it was just a bunch of content creators talking about how to collaborate with other people, how to connect with other people, and this and all that. And I thought, that's what I should really be doing, and I don't. Which, maybe I'll start getting my ass into gear and start doing that.
Yeah, nice.
But,
Handy.
And then I went and saw Back Pocket Live.
Oh yeah, how were they?
Oh, good. I just randomly just saw a light, said, what's this? And they said Back Pocket. I thought, fair enough, I'll just stand in line.
For anyone unfamiliar with Back Pocket, that's made up of a whole bunch of the ex-Good Game crew, including like X,
cool.
for example.
Hex and Goose are
Goose,
the only two that
yeah.
were there. Oh, no, there's a few others.
Others kind of drift through, I think, yeah.
Spawn Point as well, which
Yeah.
I was too old for Spawn Point.
Yeah, I didn't know as much about Spawn Point.
That's for the young kiddies out there, and I'm too old for that. So
Really, it's kind of the OGs like Junglist and Barjo that aren't a part of it. But even Barjo makes a cameo from time to time, I believe, on the call show.
Yeah, because they live in different states, so he just casually hears when he feels like it.
When he's in town.
When he's in town. And so all they did the same thing, said, oh, what games do you play this PAX? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. Then they did a couple of games. Trying to figure out, the first one was a game called Boulder Date Me. So it's just a play on words with Baldur's Gate, whatever it is. And people were sending in their characters and coming up with like really, really, I would say, dating, I don't know, profiles. That's the word. And then it's like Tinder.
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is a pretty horny game for a lot of people.
Yeah. So it was like Tinder. So they were saying yes or no to certain characters.
Swiping left and right.
Swiping left and right. And then the final game was they were playing 1-2 with the crowd.
1-2.
The game, I think it's called 1-2.
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch, yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
So they just put up a QR code on the screen and then people scanned it. And surprisingly, the funny thing was, it worked. So they had 100 people doing all like 3 games.
That's pretty cool.
And it actually worked. I don't play it. I don't play it. There's this one like a Squid Game thing. It's like a red light, green light, some small child.
Yeah, I remember the one I played it. Nintendo invited me to an event just before the game came out, like maybe the day before the game came out, a couple months ago. And I played that one. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that one they almost had a almost near breakdown failure because they thought, because you have to do a little running thing, which people were standing up and doing little pace or walking up and down, and they thought it was the first person to get across the line. They didn't realize you had to get like a certain number of people. Then they just had their hands like this,
Peering through.
They just thought, oh no, what have we done? They just thought, oh shit. And then the time ran out, and everyone celebrated because they thought that could have been disastrous.
And it wasn't, so that's all right. Good.
It wasn't. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. It was great, and yeah, that was done. And I thought, cool, because I thought, oh no, I'm going to mix the pixel cast, but they finished 15 minutes early. I thought, sweet, and you finished at your normal time too, which was even better.
Yeah, I was doing Dev Diary at the AT booth right beforehand, so I cleared out in time for all of you to do your thing.
Then my final panel was, this is a long title. It is, my parents wanted me to be a doctor, but I wanted to be a content creator. And that was based around sort of content creators whose parents wanted them to do
something else.
Something else, like a doctor, an engineer, this, that, and they didn't want to do that. And then they just went through their story of how they became content creators and how, I should also say too, they had all had an Asian background, but that doesn't really matter. It's just adds on to the stories I was talking about, where some told their parents, they got upset, said, why'd you quit your job to become a content creator? Someone did a full PowerPoint presentation on why they wanted to be a content creator and leave their job, which I thought, that's brilliant. And then they just sort of went through the advice of doing content, this, that, and whatever, and yeah, that was really good too.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sounds actually like pretty eclectic group of panels that you've been to. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just look at the title and go, they'll do. I don't care who the people are. I don't know if I know them or not, because that's, to me, is not really important. Because you go to ones you do know of, and then they're rubbish because they're just not your thing. It's just like you're a fan of that person, but they're not really.
No, I'm with you. Really, and then they're a little bit different. Yeah. For me, there was only I attended one panel that wasn't my own. So
well, it was going to be. I attended one panel and it was me.
It was almost very, very much almost that. But no, I went to go check out, and it was early in the day. And really, for the most part, it was research. Considering my guest for the afternoon, Jonathan Biddle, who was meant to be my guest for Dev Diary Live from PAX, did a panel earlier that day about basically the development of the Plucky Squire. Which obviously is a game that's coming from Australia / overseas, and it's shaping up incredibly well. And he was kind of talking through a whole bunch of different stages of development. So I was there, thanks to Doug from Power Up, who basically escorted me to the front row and got to sit up the very front.
Yeah,
and have a bit of a watch. Yeah, Doug's a legend. And I mean, he's done so many good things for us over the years, like beers, for example.
He sent me beer. That's great. That's
Dead set champion. But he got me up the front there, and we sat down and watched it. I was, adding a few notes to what I already had prepared to do with Bids for Dev Diary that afternoon, and then unfortunately, Bids was already sick going into the day. I don't think it was PAX pox because he was only there on the Saturday, so I don't think it would have hit him too fast. I think, but
no. I think you can't get PAX pox overnight. Don't think it works like that.
He was crook anyway. Doug got him to take a COVID test, came up fine there, but was still pretty rotten. Managed to get through his own panel, and then I bumped into him a few times as the day went on, and his health was just deteriorating pretty rapidly. So he probably does have COVID. Sorry, Bids, if that's the case.
Did you give him some concrete? No, don't.
So he unfortunately then fell out as my guest for Dev Diary Live, at which point I panicked considerably all afternoon. Until the amazing Julian Wilton of Massive Monster, so Cult of the Lamb, came on board to join me to fill in the show. He was a previous guest of the show, so it was, considering I didn't have any time at all to prepare my notes in the usual sort of fashion, it was good that he was coming on, because any of these returning guests, it's all just kind of waxing about what's happened in recent years. So we did that, had a bit of crowd interaction. Julian, I'll put it out here because he said it in front of a public audience. And then the audio file that I've been provided by PAX for Dev Diary Live has been corrupted. So it will never make its way to the masses, I don't think, unless they've got something stored locally and can save the day for me. Julian confirmed that their next game is Cult of the Lamb again. They are doing another Cult of the Lamb. And you can take that to the bank, people. Publish this all over the internet. It is 100%. That is what they are doing next. That is what he said on the panel. But sadly, it's never going to possibly never go to air
No one's
because
going to believe you now.
no one's going to believe me. But there was a crowd
Bullshit.
there. They saw it. They heard it. Many people will attest that is exactly what happened. I was the host of that panel, and I heard it from his lips. And unless the folks at PAX can resolve this problem, then I will be without the audio to prove it. So anyway, but setting that aside, it was awesome to get to host a panel for the first time ever.
Until it gets announced, and then you go, I told you. I told you.
Well, I mean, I knew about Cult of the Lamb in the end about 2 years before Jeff finally revealed it at the Game Awards, or no, where did he announce it? Maybe Summer Games Fest, Gamescom opening night, like whatever event it happened to be. Because as Julie and I spoke about during the panel, like there was a time when they were showing the Adventure Pals at PAX, and they had this little TV off to the side that had some other game on it, which was ultimately Cult of the Lamb, and I got to try that out then. Really, really sweet. They were road testing. It was super, super, super early at that point. And wasn't called Cult of the Lamb either at that stage. But it went on, became this global sensation, and now they're working on more of it. So that's pretty sweet. But anyway, I guess the experience of getting to host a panel was something really, really cool. And I'm hoping that I can pull together some guests next year and do it all over again. Maybe multiple. Maybe I can have one of them a day. PAX organisers. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Throw guests at me. I'll do it. I'll shill myself around. Just make sure the Patreon is in full view.
Paul is also famous now because someone said, "Wait, you're the host of Dev Dive."
Oh yeah. Well, it was game developers, so like you kind of half expected that maybe they might catch the show a little bit, but or more inclined to catch the show than other people. But it was pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I did have that moment too, which demoed a game. One of the New Zealand games actually. Red Echo went to go try that one out. Can you put your name on the mailing list? Yeah, no worries. Put my name on the mailing list. Oh, can you just list who you're representing? Player 2/Dev Diary. Oh, what? You're the Dev Diary host? Yeah, that's me. So that was a nice moment. That's pretty cool. But I guess that aside, we've been going for a little while now. We'll kind of keep it short and sharp. But 10 years of PAX. What have been some of the favourite parts of these last 10 years? When was your first one?
My first was 2014. That's how that was. I'm pretty sure that was the second PAX.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mess. This is
all here.
10 years of PAX, but we've missed 2 along the way. I think this is still just the 8th PAX. Have you kept every single badge? Also, that front one. What's SPC stand for?
Well, it's okay. The SPC one.
Fruits nothing like it. Better for human.
That was a special. That was special guest. But
how'd you get special guest?
No. Okay, I will explain this. This is the first one. This was 2014. I was at uni at the time, and one of the people, like the head person of the university, said, "Does anyone want to go to PAX? I've got some badges." They're like, "What the hell's PAX?" So I googled it. I thought, video games? I'm in it. So I said yes, and this is what I got. So that was my first PAX.
Very nice.
A special guest one because he just had a whole heap of random ones. So I was not a special guest. So let's calm down on that. And then
who cares? You can claim it.
I can claim it, but I'm on a pattern at the moment that I need to break next year. So 14, 15 I went to. 16, 17 I didn't go to. 18, 19 I did go to. 20, 21 no one went to. 22, 23 I've been to.
So you're trying to tell me that you're not going to show up next year?
No, I'm showing up just to break that streak.
Oh, break the streak. Okay, cool.
Break the streak.
And we've got to get on the beers.
And the beers, yes. Maybe I should book a hotel or just sleep in a car. I don't know. Maybe I'll just put a tent out in the car park below and just sleep there for the night. Or just book a hotel. But
I'm with you. I'm actually with you on that. Like every year, especially since having kids, I'll make sure that I drive in and out. But we have our big co-op drinks of a Friday night, and it's the most important part of PAX, the big social thing there. And I end up driving home every night, but I think I need to get myself absolutely wiped out. And so one of these years, so I'll just book a hotel, make my way there at the end of the night,
and the question you were asking before, did they say something about next year? The pinned tweet, I just had a look at, it says, "From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining us as we celebrated 10 years of PAX Aus. We gamed and gamed and gamed all weekend long with thousands and thousands of our closest friends." Debatable, but yes. "Let's do it again sometime. Question mark. Don't think of this as a goodbye, think of it as a chance to rest and reset. Fulfill that power meter of PAX Aus 2024.
And I figure it'll be back. It's just a case of where.
When and where?
There's some interesting questions I've got about that I will not be making public on a show like this, but I've got
Yes,
questions and concerns.
There were things that we were discussing at certain times of PAX about
Yeah.
certain things to certain people as well. But yes, it's going to be interesting to see where and when
Yeah.
it's going to be. Because it has
Not
been in
ideal.
Melbourne for the last 10 years. Question is, will it still be in Melbourne next year?
No one's told us anything there, but I'm sus based on how things are going at the moment. That they might look to change it up and take it someplace else. Maybe Sydney,
Geelong.
because that's to Geelong. I can get around it.
Bendigo, Wollongong,
Oh, now we're starting to get rough.
Pachuca,
Yeah,
Adelaide.
for me, I mean, I haven't missed a single PAX up to this point. I've been there since the very first one, gone to every single one. Fortunately, had the media badge for most of those years at this point. Certainly more than half, probably 5 out of the 8, maybe even 6 out of the 8. I've been able to get the media pass thing. This year was my first year with a special guest badge, unlike yourself who lucked into one. This is the first time I got one, and very very like humbling sort of experience there to be able to get that. Let alone the fact that you end up with 2 badges as a result, and not that I had anyone to throw it to in the end, but I could have. So next year, if I can get a speaker badge, someone needs a ticket, hit me up. But yeah, I mean, there's been so many awesome panels over the years that I've been able to attend, especially in the first few years. I remember Gearbox coming a lot, so there was a lot of Borderlands related stuff. That was really when Borderlands 2 was at its peak. Randy and the team coming down.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the first panels I went to was women in gaming, and then Hex was there, Randy was there. I think it was someone else well known then. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, they were talking about women in gaming and all this. I thought I never thought of it like that because he came up with a weird stat because the first Borderlands game, or was the second Borderlands game? I can't remember which one it was because everyone went like certain characters. I can't remember all the characters in the first one. It was Ronald, Brick, Mordecai, and Lilith. Yeah. And the thing was that everyone picked Roland, who was an African American character, and everyone's like, "Oh, I never thought of that."
Because you shouldn't. You pick a character who's cool.
Then in the second one, you had 2 female characters, one unknown, which was Zero, and the Salvador guy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing, though. Like, no one cares because you just care about playing the character rather than the gender.
Who cares about the gender?
Who cares? I never thought about that. Thought about it like that. I thought, oh, that's interesting. And ever since then, I've never cared about what gender I go. I just go whatever I want in games. Like Mass Effect, I've been female Shepard for like the last 10 years because I felt like it.
And she's your Shepard now. Like, that's just it.
Yeah. I'm not going back. Every time I go do Shepard, it's like, yeah, it's cool and everything, but I feel bad for headbutting the newsreader as a dude, so...
Yeah.
Do it.
For me, a lot of it's been and it's kind of lessened in, I think, interest in recent years, but some of the big keynote speeches, I think about like the likes of Ron Gilbert did it at one point, Warren Spector, so creative Deus Ex, Ron Gilbert, obviously, like heaps and heaps of those classic LucasArts point and clicks, Day of the Tentacle Mansion, all those sorts of things. And there's been like lots of really amazing keynote speakers over the year, like for those main presentations on the first day. In recent years, I don't know, and I think it's maybe reflective of how PAX Aus is kind of going, and maybe mine/multiple people's eyes, that the keynote speakers aren't of that same sort of level of esteem. I'm not saying they're bad people or not worth of the time, but like the I guess their experience and their kind of standing with the industry is not as great. They're still maybe working their way up and that sort of thing, which is cool, and they're fascinating perspectives. And of course, as someone who hosts a show that's about people kind of earning their stripes in this industry, it's like they're certainly no less. They're still super fascinating, but the big names haven't really been coming out in recent years, which has been pretty disappointing. I mean, last year getting to take a photo with Shu was cool.
Yeah, even like big American like personalities haven't really been coming out since, I would say,
the first couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's been a bit of a shame, but like I love getting to those panels. Like anything that really gives me more opportunity to learn about how games are made is really, really fascinating to me, which is why I loved Bids' panel on the weekend. And yeah, unfortunately, he got sick and couldn't do the rest of the day. But those sorts of things are really, really cool. So that's kind of my favourite part of PAX anyway. And of course, getting to catch up with everyone, get on the beers, help join people making content, get to do these all these awesome interviews. I've got about 6 dev diaries that I've done this weekend as well, so lots of people to go check out over the coming weeks. I did my first interview this weekend where I had a translator in the middle there when I was talking to Takuma Rendo, who's the creator of Tenchu and Octopath Traveler and a whole bunch of cool stuff, and we had his translator in the middle there. That was a first. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, especially when we started doing it on the show floor as well. So there's all this background noise. Worked a treat. I mean, I haven't edited it yet, so it could actually be shit, but it worked. Like, I felt like everything was still really fluid despite the entire circumstance. So,
Did you ask him what's your thoughts on 4X?
no, I didn't. I'll wait until Shuhei comes back one of these days.
I say don't ask him that because he might turn and start drinking it, and we don't want that. Stay away from the 4X.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Shu. We'll keep that hooked on a line for Shuhei to come back one of these days. But yeah, 4X sucks. Any other thoughts on all things PAX or PAX 23?
Wherever it is next year, I'll probably turn up.
Yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully it's Melbourne. Hopefully it's
Melbourne, but if it's in Sydney, sure, I'll take the train. I'll take the plane.
Yeah, we'll make it work somehow. All right, well, thank you everyone for tuning into this latest episode of Patched. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are there. There's heaps of awesome content on the YouTube channel. Visit the website, player2.net.au. There's heaps of PAX-related content that is already up and is still to come across both the YouTube channel. Like I said, Renee's done a whole bunch of previews and also a whole bunch of written stuff on the Player2 website as well. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kick a few bucks. And finally, there's Twitter. Matto.
Matto_Phil. And funny enough, too, when you say the whole Twitter thing, there's people there on the pals going, do we call it Twitter? Do we call it X? And I was like, nah, screw it, call it Twitter.
Exactly.
Like,
fuck you, Elon. Paul James Games, myself. The website is player2au. And until next week, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you later. Thanks for coming to PAX, if we saw you.